really.
All right, Mike. You can go ahead and start, Mike.
Thanks, Andrea. I appreciate it. Andrea's been tempted by too many crosshairs, so she's getting cranky down there in Louisiana. She gets to come back to civilization tomorrow and join the rest of us in our misery and traffic. Yeah. Hey, listen, thanks everybody for coming in on this call. The reason I wanted to get everybody together early is just to stress a couple of individual points. But number one, first and foremost, this is a nice group, 600 lives from Bob Cornson at Benbrook. Benbrook is one of the now 5 partners. They just brought in a new agency. It used to be 4 agencies that made up Benefits America. And they just brought in Westlake Risk, a guy named Peter Winter that I know, up here in Westlake, as you might guess. Peter's never really written much business in voluntary because he's never been much of a fan. So we'll see what he does. But anyway, I was pretty tickled and wanted to tell all of you about that, although that wasn't the reason for coming in early. The reason for coming in early is that Benefits America is really important to everybody on the phone. The better job we do with them, the more business they'll hand us. Case in point is if we do everything at, and I'm going to call it PAMC, all right, or the hospital. PAMC stands for Pacific Alliance Medical Center. If we do everything good here, we have a common owner, and the common owner owns another hospital, 1,200 lives, twice the size of this one, called SynerMed, SYNERMED. And Bob said to me, you can almost, I can't guarantee it, Mike, but you can almost count on the fact that if PAMC goes well, the common ownership and as much time as SynerMed staff and PAMC staff spend together, that it could be that before the end of the year, SynerMed follows the pathway that PAMC took, and they bring in, benefit communicators and do the things that we do. So it's really important that all of us, I'm asking all of you to take the extra steps to prepare in advance of tomorrow morning's beginning of this enrollment. Make sure that you understand how to use the scheduler, how to go on and put somebody in, and how to move somebody, and be able to explain to them how the scheduler works. If you get an employee that comes up to your desk in between time and says, "Oh boy, I'm scheduled for whatever o'clock, and I need to move it to another day and whatever o'clock." They have go well, because at the end of the day, when it comes to these large employers, small ones too, but on the larger employers, it's the trafficking or the movement of the employees by which we seem to get measured more than anything else. If we've got employees that are kind of moving and one person at a time, nice and controlled, senior management really likes that. When senior management likes it, middle management, the HR directors and folks that we work with, they get accolades. And when they get accolades, they kind of look at us with glistening eyes. They like it. So please make sure and go through and look at the process on the scheduler, and make sure that you thoroughly understand how to use it, and that you thoroughly understand how to explain it to another employee. During the call, Andrea, are you planning on reviewing the scheduler for everybody and the HR team?
That's actually what I was. The HR team's already had it. We've already done it. I've already done it with the HR team. So no, I was going to do it with the benefit counselors, though, so that they can see how to work it. They've been doing this. The HR team's been doing the scheduler today, helping people and putting people on. So they got it.
Okay, cool. So that'll be awesome. I would also, next I'd like to address the HR team. We've got a pretty nice sized staff of HR folks. I pushed the names over to Jenny to put into ACT. So, and I'm in a car on my cell phone, so I don't have access to them right now. But Andrew, if you could get the names of the HR folks to our benefit counselors tonight, so everybody can have that list, and you'll maybe hopefully recognize the name when they sit down. And
it's in there, Mike. This is Ronnie.
Awesome. Oh, perfect.
They're all there.
So Ronnie, would you do me a favor, and you know how you can go in and pull up PAMC and it'll give you everybody. You can push it to an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll list everybody.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
It's really easy. Yeah, just go to the list view, and when you pull up everybody's name, you'll see it, and go to list view, and then up at the top you'll see a little tiny Excel icon, and you just mouse over it, and it'll say push to Excel. Push
perfect.
To Excel. So send that to everybody. And so for the rest of you, I have suggested to HR that they have all of the HR folks go as early tomorrow as possible. They'll be some of the first to undergo this new process for open enrollment. And that way they can field phone calls from the timid souls that feel like they don't want to go sit in front of those mean people with 2-inch teeth and 4-inch nails, and so mean and nasty. All of you, that's the one I'm talking about. And so give them the tender love and care, make yourselves available, do all the courteous things that you normally do. We're here to win points so we can be asked to go to CenterMed. Be especially attentive to any questions. Look for trends. I would say at the end of the day, if you can throw questions or anything that might have come up during the day, you didn't get to do it during the day, push it Andrea's and my way so we can hear questions or concerns, or if there's statements about their core benefits that the broker would like us and the HR folks would like us to pass along to them. Let's do that. Let's get that feedback. If you don't hear anything, you don't hear anything. But you are a filtering tool, and we're going to be talking to a lot of folks, see what they have to say, and then kind of characterize those and pass them along. It may not have specific names because you don't want to put somebody on the spot or anything like that, but having the feedback is pretty important. At the end of each
they're
day,
basically moving to a new carrier, so there might be complaints, although the broker said that most of the plans are comparable to what they had before.
Yeah, and they got a small reduction in the premium, and they're bringing in LTD with employer-paid long-term disability, which they've never had before. So there's a lot of reason for a lot of smiles at this enrollment, a lot of them. Remember to shine the employer's star. Sometimes I think we get busy, and it's nice to pass along nice compliments. For example, you might say, boy, this is what we do all the time. I don't know if you know it or not, but you guys have pretty good benefits. Those kind of things go a long way in helping the employer to fulfill their efforts to try to bring good benefits to the employees. The biggest problem they have, as we all know, is that employees don't know it because they don't have anything to compare it to. Benefits is not what they do every day, so they just don't have anything to really know or understand. So when we echo that to them, I think it goes a long way. And as an aside, sometimes those things filter their way back up to HR, and that doesn't go so bad for us either. The broker that will be there tomorrow is Sheldon Mallory. Sheldon's about 6'2", maybe 230, kind of blondish guy, got a beard. He's a really tender soul. He's a cool guy, really easy to get along with. I have no idea how long he's staying. I don't know if he's going to be there for 15 minutes or what. And but he's a good guy. I'd like you to introduce yourself. Make yourself available for any questions or anything, any help that you can offer. Just razzle them and dazzle them with, how attentive our team is. And I think that's about it. Yeah. So let's, everything else we're going to chat about, and I'll only have a little bit. Some of it's going to be a repeat for Bernini when the broker gets on at 6:30. But we've got the right people here. I mean, you're the folks that I trust, the most, and so I'm real excited. I'm real excited about this. Enrollment. So any questions or anything anybody has, any concerns?
Otherwise, I'm going to talk about a few logistics items while we're waiting for Bernini and Coco, and then I'm going to wait for Coco to go over the core benefits. But the let me go to the guide real quick.
When you're going to the guide, Andrea, I'm going when I sign off. I'm not going to say hey goodbye everybody and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to disappear off into the sunset when this is done, because I've got a 7 o'clock meeting, and I've got to, this was scheduled a month and a half ago.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I mean, this was the only, with the holiday, this was the only time to do it.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of musts that the broker wants us to do. You know, emphasize, that the Cigna plans are, like Mike was saying, comparable to what they had before, and they've had a few price reductions. They're adding the long-term disability that the employer is paying for, and there's a buy-up. But they want you to emphasize the value adds that they have with Cigna. They're excited about that EA, the Employee Assistance Program. That's new, and you have a flyer on it. There's a health advocate program. So there's a bunch of flyers on the value adds, and they want them mentioned so that employees will start to use them, of course. And you don't enroll in any of them. They just come as part of being part of the Cigna family, basically. And so remember that about the Cigna. The only form that we're going to have to fill out is the EOI form. So that the only paper form that will have to be filled out is for any employees going over the guaranteed issue amount for for the voluntary life insurance. So keep that in mind. Be sure that that form is filled out. The Employee Navigator will tell you if you go over and bring it up, in the system. A reminder that they have to fill it out, but just keep in mind that that has to be filled out. Can't get away from it. They need the EOI form. And then I've been trying to, they have the UVille site, so you can always, go check out the UVille site. I put it in the guide so that all the resources are there, but it's a good site to show, have all this information in consumerism as well, so that they can, learn more about Colonial, see the flyers about their benefits, and also there's the link to the scheduler there as well. And that was the other thing. The group does, I told everybody to have plenty of ink, plenty of paper. The group does want a second, one of those benefit confirmation statements printed at the end of each enrollment and get a wet signature on it. And you'll just, have to give Rodney's the lead enroller, try to get everything over to Rodney, and he'll deliver everything over to Berninia or the HR department. So they do want a wet signature election form. So
you're going to do those nightly?
Yes, I would do that nightly. Otherwise, handing them a stack of 600 at the end of enrollment would be a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
so I would.
Good deal. Good deal.
I would get them. I would get them nightly over to the HR department, whoever's still there. Hello,
okay.
And Andrea Tears, did somebody join or somebody drop off?
That was a drop off. Yeah.
That was a drop off. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to show you the scheduler link so you can, I gave it to everybody so you can see how to do it as well. And the other thing is on our Colonial, FSAs. They do have FSAs in place, but their FSAs are calendar year. They start in January. So if any of your employees ask about FSAs, it's all you need to do is tell them that, well, you still have FSAs, but it's not time to enroll in them yet. They'll have more information about that closer to the 1/1/2018 effective date for the FSAs.
Cool.
Disability. Disability, it's set at 40% because they have some executives that can if they elect our Colonial Life disability, can get up to 40%. Their names are listed in the guide. There's only about a dozen that can get up to 40%. All the other employees, you need to keep at 25% or less. So the other basic employees, they can't get more than 25% of their salary for our Colonial Life disability. So have your handy dandy calculators available if you need to, so you can quickly figure that out and not go over that amount when you're helping employees sign up for disability. Oh, here's the names for
no choice on tax status.
No, there is no choice on tax status. Right now it's post-tax.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And so here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, there's only 8 names, 8 people that can get up to 40%. And I put the links to the scheduler in the guide as well, but I also sent them to you. So they're here so you can see that. Oh, here's what I wanted to go across. I was trying to get them to give me some clear instructions on where to go tomorrow. I was told that when you pull up PAMC Pacific Alliance Medical Center in your GPS, it'll bring you to the hospital. 5:30. Of the time is in the 910 building, which is across the street from the hospital.
Yeah, you kind of broke up for a little bit. We can hear you.
Yeah, jump back 30 seconds. Yeah.
You were talking about the street address right before that it stopped.
Okay. Well, let me move my phone to a different spot and see if that helps. Okay. So the hospital, when you pull it up on your GPS, when you put in, and if you don't put in the street address, if you put in Pacific Alliance Medical Center, it will bring you to the main hospital building. There's 3 buildings located right close to each other. 531 West College is the main hospital building. The 910 building is actually, it's across the street. It's 910 Hill Street, but it's across the street from the hospital. That's where we're going to be setting up tomorrow. And the majority of the time they have a big classroom there. And so that's where you're going to head for, is that building. And the administration building, that isn't me, that's somebody else that has the so maybe people *6 or something to mute your phones if you're in and out of cars or something. And the administration building, the 7-Eleven building, which is the main address that's in the guide because they use the administrative building as their address, that one is a 4-story building that's next to the hospital. And there's one day that will be over there. A few benefit counselors will be over there. Now they have what they call the DCR. It's in the hospital next to the cafeteria. So if it's a day that we're sitting up in the DCR, that's actually in the hospital building. And when you go in, security can tell you where it's at. And so I put all 3 of the addresses here. The 531 West College Street is the hospital. 711 West College Street is the administration building. 910 Hill Street is the building right across the street from the hospital. And so hopefully, they made it sound like it was no problem to find these, and I'm trying to tell them, hey, my benefit counselors have never been there. Can you explain clearly how to get there? So leave yourself time. The first appointments are at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I think there's 5 people signed up at 7, so you need to be ready to go at 7, and there will invariably be walk-ins as well. So I can see it being an extremely busy day tomorrow.
Andrea, it's
Yes.
Susie. The page. Wait, don't go back to that page where you just were. I'm looking at mine on the enrollment guide, and it doesn't have that information. It stops at remember to have a lot of paper, and that's from yesterday.
Yes, I added this because I got this information today, so I will resend the guide out after our call in case I have any more updates during the call. I will add that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was trying to get that information. Yes.
I have a question too. Back to the value-added plans.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have access to the flyers about those benefits, or like, do they have a benefit portal or anything like that where they have access, or can if they want?
They have packets of Cigna that's been delivered. I spoke with HR today. They're going to have all that information in the room where we're going to be enrolling. So they will be having that. Then there they do have an EAP program, a health advocate program, an ID theft program, a will prep service program, a healthy reward program, Cigna Assurance, a Cigna Secure Travel. They're all part of the value adds. And there's even a telemedicine program. And so that they have to pay like a doctor's office visit fee for, but they have that option, and they'll learn more about that with their Cigna benefits. But they'll have access. Yeah, they'll have access to it. It doesn't mean that they've read it or looked at it, which is why the broker wants us to mention that these value-added programs are available. And if they can't access their flyers, HR will gladly give them to them.
Perfect.
So yeah, so they're there. Okay, so let's see, how much time do we have before?
You probably got about 5 minutes before folks might start joining.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be. I'm going to go to the scheduler real quick because that's something that I've told HR about, but that they can have as well. So here's, I don't know if any of you have gone to Uville or opened up any of these links because I sent this to you, but if you open up the scheduler itself, if you have somebody that comes and the link to it, it opens up to the 3 locations, the 910 classroom building, the 7-Eleven administration building, and then they wanted to be sure that it was clearly defined if there was a bilingual enroller, and so there's a couple of days where I clearly defined a bilingual enroller, and so that over at the 910 classroom, and all they have to do is click on where they want to sign up, and it'll pull up availability after they type in their name and everything. So if anybody wants to schedule, all you have to do is, pull this up for them, have them put in their first name, last name, email, phone number, and as soon as they hit schedule, it pulls up available time slots. They click on the time slot they want. And once there's been a few of employees who think, I hear background noise again, if you can *6, that would be great to mute. There's been a few employees that have neglected to confirm their appointment. So once they select an appointment time, they're not done until they wait for the pop-up to say, you selected this time, do you want to confirm it? And they have to hit confirm. And so there's been some employees that have forgotten to do that, and so they think they're signed up for a time slot, and they are not. So I've had sent a couple of emails to a few employees to do that. Now, here's where you can see who signed up. So tomorrow everybody's at the 910 building. So if you click on this link, it doesn't pull up your names. It pulls up the schedule, and you can see how many are in a time slot. There's 5 time slots most days, so that always leaves 1 or 2 benefit counselors that are open. So, with time slots run over, you can take the next person, and they don't have to, if people walk in, because people will be walking in. So on this one, you can see right away on this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who are unscheduled, so they didn't hit that confirm button yet. But here, I'm going to sort this up here. If you click the arrow by the scheduled date, it will sort it by the date. And you can immediately see, if you start scrolling down, we have 88 people that are currently signed up, and most of them are on the 6th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people for 7 o'clock. Then you can see the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people for 7:30 and so forth. You can go all the way down and see who's scheduled. If there's a couple of times where if you look at it, I showed the HR where they could add notes, and so they put some notes by a couple of people. So I would, open up this schedule, numerous times during the day just to double check who signed up and see if the HR put any notes for you to read. You can sort it by name alphabetically. You can sort it by date, or you can sort it by times. And if somebody comes and says, I haven't been able to do it, sort it by name, look for their name, and if they're one of these unscheduled people, if you, like for example over here, Kim Tran, if you go all the way over to the far right, you click on the link that's specific for Kim Tran, it will pull up just for her. Now, hopefully that's a person, and it will pull up available meeting times, or if they want to change, and so you can quickly, okay, here's available time. It even shows you the available time slots that are still available. If there isn't any times available, it's blank. So there's no time slots left at 9:30 on the 6th, and no time, so it only shows available time slots. And then the next week, if you see there's lots of time slots, everybody's trying to get on the 6th right now, and I'm sure tomorrow we'll start getting more for the next week. So it's really easy to help them to pick it up if they already have a time slot scheduled, and you click on that link. You can see there's a reschedule button, so it's real easy to help them reschedule if they want to. And here you can see if you want to sort it, the sublocation way over next to it, it does have names down of who they're scheduled with, so you can see who they're scheduled with as well. The names are there next to that link. And so you can always sort by that if you want to as well. So there's many ways to sort this. And John, who sort of, who helped us get this set up, he recommended just going and looking on here, because as soon as you export it to Excel, there's going to be changes to it and it's not going to be accurate. So he recommends always opening up the schedule links to check. And then you can do this for all of them. Each link, each location has their own link. So you can go back and go to, look at the 7-Eleven location. That's only one day on the 11th of July, actually. 7-Eleven building is on the 7-Eleven of July. Makes it easy building. And the bilingual location, not so many people are signing up for, but that gives plenty of opportunity because we're going to be directing the department heads to send employees whenever they have free time down to whatever room we're set up as enrollers. So it's setting up to enroll so that even if they don't have an appointment, they're going to be walking in. So just always need to be prepared. So let me see, we're at 6:30. Of course, I'm saying 8:30 because it's 8:30 where I'm at. But let's see, has Coco joined or Bernini been able to join us?
I didn't hear
anybody have any
dong.
questions?
Somebody joined.
Yeah. Yeah. Did anybody have any questions about the? Yes.
So, and it's not the scheduler, but scheduling. So, Rodney, are you going to rotate the people who serve as the floating stations so there's a nice equal opportunity for everybody? You know what I'm talking about? Hello, Rodney.
No, because I've got my Bluetooth on. You're here. Talk to us through here.
And let me I'll pull up the, and I sent this to everybody as well, so you have the, hello, this is Andrea.
Hi, it's Coco.
Okay, I'm here.
Hey, Coco.
Hello, Coco.
Hi.
You were just addressing a couple of schedule things, and so we'll see if Bernini joins us, and then we'll jump forward. Yes, sir.
So we're not we're not going to have a designated schedule person, or am I the designated schedule person?
Well,
That's what I'm
actually, we don't need a
understanding.
designated. The only thing that you'll need to do is just work out with everybody who is
Okay.
going to rotate through the walk-in chairs.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, easy enough. I can do
worst
that.
case, yeah, that's all. We just want to make sure that everybody gets an equal opportunity, for the walk-ins, because it may not be that busy for walk-ins if employees all schedule, which we kind of hope. It should work out good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Because
That'd be great.
tomorrow there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that are scheduled and 1 person that's open. So utilize that open person as well. And Cynthia in HR sent over what building we're going to be at each day. So tomorrow is the education building. The 10th they had us at the DCR, but I guess they're changing back to the education building. The DCR, remember, is the room that's in the hospital itself. But they said it's really easy for the employees to walk across the street when it's their turn to go over there. The 11th is when you're broken up. It was 2 benefit counselors at the admin building. They had me at a 3rd one. So Margot, you're actually going to be at the admin building on the 11th as well. And so they had a lot of people that were signing up there. So, and I put it over here, your names, your hours, your location. Be flexible if if you need to change, we need to adjust the hours, just be flexible with hours and schedule. And there's the ones that are working late, you can see when you're scheduled till 10 p.m. because we're working late to accommodate their 3rd shift, and what building that you're going to be in. And so, and I'll send this back out to everybody so that everybody has it and sees it, as well as the guide when we finish this call, because I have a couple of updates that I made to it. And now, since Coco is here, and Berninia, are you here yet? Berninia wasn't sure she was going to be able to get on. She was going to call in if she could as she was driving. So, Mike, did you want to introduce Coco?
Yeah, just a couple of things, just a couple of minutes. So, good evening, Coco. Thanks for joining us at our little benefit counselor training program. Yeah. So, everybody, Coco Bennett works for Ben Brook as their senior account manager for Pacific American Medical Center, or PAMC. And so she and I and Andrea have been working really closely for the last 2 months, I guess.
Yeah.
So because we got a lot of lead time on this, and it was wonderful, and there were no panic moments and trying to pull things together. So Coco,
except for me panicking.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not on the call.
Well, their email went down, and that was sort of like, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
for 2 minutes.
Put us behind a little.
Yeah, you'll probably see people walking around still with deer in headlights because they lost email for a days. It was crazy, just crazy. And so anyway, we got through it. So Coco, we started at 6 o'clock because we wanted to take care of a lot of just internal stuff that we didn't need to drag you and or the client through. So we've covered a lot of ground already. We talked about scheduler, we've talked about expectations, and, culture. The one thing I didn't get to talk. Hey, Beninia, Mike McCary, and Coco, and Andrea, and the rest of the team.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Really well. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes.
So here, let me just kind of officially kick it off. So Beninia Bradley is our Director of Human Resources for PAMC. And so Beninia, the rest of our benefit counselor team, in addition to Andrea, Coco, myself, are all on the phone right now. And so as I was just telling Coco, we started at 6 o'clock. We have a lot of internal stuff that you guys would be sitting there yawning and being bored to death, et cetera. So we've taken care of a few of the details already. So I wanted you to know that. So if it's something you don't hear discussed during this portion of the call, the last portion, main portion, I didn't want you to think that it was something that slipped by or was unattended or something like that.
Okay.
But we've already been on the phone. Yeah, we've already been on the phone for 30 minutes talking about PAMC.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Okay.
and and I've already done my little introductory, talk with our crew and everything about PAMC and what we're doing, how we got here, who the players are. And one of the things that I stressed to them too, Berninia, was that if at all possible, if you haven't already, if you're of the same thought process, please ask your HR staff to be some of the earliest appointments for the enrollment process.
Yes.
That will go a long way because people will call and have questions, etc. And then if somebody from HR has already undergone their enrollment, they can say, "Oh yeah, piece of cake.
Okay.
Here's what you do. That. 1, 2, 3, done. Easy." Nice people, and they can speak of that firsthand because they've already gone through the process with a benefit counselor. So if you could do that, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to tell the team, and I'm glad you're here to overhear it. So for all the benefit counselors, I will please remember to give not only give every employee our post-enrollment survey, but please point out the sentence at the bottom that says, "Please take this to HR. Don't give it back to your colonial representative," and stress to them how important this feedback is to HR, and that you would sincerely appreciate it if they would take this and be certain that it gets back to the Human Resources Department. That is HR's report card on the work that our benefit counselors are doing every day, and if we minimize it, employees can kind of go, another piece of paper, no big deal, let's skip it, because we all get asked for surveys all the time. But if we stress the importance sincerely, I think Berninia and company will see more feedback reports in the form of those one-page post-enrollment surveys as we go along. So Berninia, what we do here is Andrea is going to take over the lead on the call, and she's going to direct everybody through the colonial benefits, and we start out with the medical, dental, vision, everything you guys offer in the core. We spend very little time on the colonial benefits because we know those like the back of our hand. It's what we do daily. And so I wanted to just kind of wrap up my little piece by saying thank you again for the trust that you place in Colonial Life and our team at Essential Benefits. We truly appreciate your business. And over the course of the next, the 6th through the 18th is 12 days. Over the course of the next 12 days, I predict that you will see that all of those nice promises I made to you about our effectiveness and our abilities and congeniality and all those good things that we do, you'll see all of that played out in real time. So Andrea, I'm going to turn it over to you, and then you can direct the call.
Okay. Thank you. And before we start with the benefits, since Berninia is on the call, Berninia, is there anything that you want to share with my benefit counselors about the hospital, about your employee mix, or anything that you think is important for my benefit counselors to know?
I think probably that this is the first time something like this has happened. So for them at PAMC, we're hoping that it's a big hit. They are also accustomed to doing everything on paper, although I know that folks will be very happy not to have to do everything on paper. So you may experience some folks that will have mixed feelings about that. And in general, though, I believe we're offering, and people are very excited. There's like a buzz in the air over this. So I think it's going to go off well. The only thing is we've experienced some issues today with trying to get folks through to the site. So I'm going to encourage walk-ins for tomorrow because of that.
That'll work, because we do have an empty benefit counselor, and it's like every time I click on the link, I just doing it right now, it opens up directly for me. So I have to think it might be something on your server that's blocking access. I mean, so it's like, I don't know why it's not letting you. Every time I go to it, it opens up. So that's the only thing that I can think.
Our IS is working on it. I do think it's from our side. But the positive is that I'm getting a lot of folks that are trying to get in. But the negative, of course, is that they're not getting in.
Yeah, what we do have quite a few signed up. I mean, tomorrow's actually getting very booked up, and so hopefully they'll realize that it's all next week. They can they can sign up for a spot too, and maybe encourage them to click on the link on their home computer, and they might maybe get in easier when they're home watching TV or something.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm good. I'm glad they're very excited about it. And so now that Coco's here, Coco, are you ready so that you can start sharing about we'll start with the medical benefits, the 3 medical plans that are available, so that you can go over any specifics about the plans.
Yeah, the benefits are, the positive here is that the benefits are very comparable, almost identical to their current benefits. The only difference is they went from UHC to Cigna. So on top of that, the Cigna or the UHC plan that they were on, the base plan, the 2000 plan, was a very skinny network. And now with Cigna, they have the full network. So the employees need to understand that they have access to the full network. Okay. And the DHMO, I mean, all the benefits are so comparable, with the exception that PAMC has been very generous, and I want you guys to express how generous PAMC has been in enhancing their life benefit. Now they offer the one-time salary, which is awesome because most of the employees last year only had a $30,000 life benefit. And then they are also offering a base LTD plan with the option for the employees to buy up. So I think it's really important to express to the employees that PAMC definitely cares about them, and they're really getting more competitive with the, they're keeping up with their competitors. They're better than their competitors, the other hospitals and so forth. I think it's just really important to express how PAMC has just really stepped up to the plate and are really like enhancing all of their benefits. In addition to that, their contributions towards their medical plans have gone down slightly, which is great news.
What the employees pay has gone down?
Correct. Cool. Yeah, so each tier, I mean, each plan has gone down $10. Yeah, they're just, I think it's really, really important. And again, because like Bernina said, PAMC hasn't held this they haven't really had group meetings in quite a long time. So they haven't had any real education, and everything has been paper, and it's kind of been status quo, which is great because they have really rich benefits. But this year is like, woohoo, look what we're doing for our employees. We now are offering the full network. You have 3 options, on your medical. We've enhanced your life. We're offering LTD. We're offering Colonial with all of these benefits. I mean, there's so many choices now. I think it's great.
On that, Coco? One of the things that we talked about as a team in the 6 o'clock to 6:30 side was at all of our groups. One of the things that we make it a mandatory thing for us to do is to shine our employer's star. And
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just wanted to reinforce that we're all over what you're talking about, and
right.
And, you'll probably, hopefully, HR will see kind of an uplift in that feedback and sense of people walking in and going, I had no idea. I expect you should hear things like that. All right, I'll be quiet now.
Yeah. No, you guys do a great job.
And so for the medical, you have the base plan, which was the HMO 2000, and then you also have the HMO buy-up plan, that's the 1500, and then a PPO, the Open Access Plus plan. Is there anything like we have the specifics, that it shows the out-of-pocket maximums and the if there's any annual deductibles and the office visit copays and the prescriptions. I mean, all these plans actually look like decent, nice plans.
They're really, they're very, very rich plans, and they're very comparable to what they currently have. So really the only thing is the network is much larger.
Okay.
Yeah, this
most of their same doctors that were on the UHC network, do you think a lot of them are contracted with Cigna as well?
Yes, there's a handful. I want to say there were, Berninia, do you remember, I think there were like three to six doctors. There were 3 to 6 employees that didn't have, their doctors weren't on there. So in a group this size, this is like phenomenal. It's great news. So
yeah, and we could find most of them. And I would like to also emphasize, like you have been talking about, that it is a rich plan. I think other little challenges recently, and some of our employees were getting a little nervous about PAMC in general. So I think if you emphasize this is a bigger, richer plan for slightly less money, that'll be a big hit.
Yes.
Okay. Well, got that, benefit counselors. That what the must says that you want to mention to the employees when you're talking about the plans, that they're bigger, richer plans, larger network, and slightly less money out of the employee's pocket.
Yeah, I would. Perfect.
Yeah, and then the dental plan it's also through Cigna, and you have your your DHMO plan, the HMO network plan, and then the PPO plan. And per usual, you have to select a dentist with the HMO network. And was it the same? Did you find the same situation with dental like you did with vision? I mean, like you did with medical, that
with the medical, Cigna. Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're just, Cigna is very comparable, if not better, than UHC. You can't really say that, but Cigna has a very robust network of providers, medical and dental.
Okay.
Great.
Do any of you, my benefit counselors, do you have any questions about any of the medical plans, or the 3 medical plans, or the 2 dental plans? Because now's your chance to ask.
No.
We have Coco and Bernini on the line.
No.
So this should be one situation where the employees should be actually happy about the change, since they got a better, richer plan. They can basically keep their same doctors for the most part, and it's costing them slightly less money.
Yep. Yeah,
all
right. Awesome.
All right.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that is very exciting. All right, so the vision is IMED, and what was the plan last year?
It was through UHC. It was the same. Again. The benefits are basically the same. The network, again, IMED is ginormous. It's bigger than UHC. They can use Lens Crafters, Walmart, Target. They have all the retail stores, plus they have the the private doctors as well. So it's the same thing.
Much broader network. Yeah.
A much broader network.
Okay, and then UHC. Okay, and it's basically your standard, vision plan. 12 months, 24 months. 12 months for exams, 12 months for lenses, 24 months for frames, and the plan pays. $10 copay per exam, $25 copay for materials, and then the allowance that they give for the frames or the contacts.
Yep.
And it's very inexpensive, actually.
I know, right?
And then,
yeah,
it really is very inexpensive. All right, then they have the basic life is already been talked about. It sounds like they had at one time, it was $30,000 that they were getting, and now with the Cigna, they'll be able to get one time the salary. It's capped at, what's it capped at? Is it capped at $300,000?
Yeah, could you scroll up a little bit? Yeah, what,
Sure.
it's not even on this page. Yeah, I want to say it's capped at 300,000.
Here, I put it in my guide. Let me scroll down to my guide real quick.
Okay.
The basic life, dental, LTD, group life. Okay, full-time, one-time salary to a max of 300,000, and benefits start reducing at age 65.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's very, very generous for them to get. And then we'll go back to the, because this is larger, and so then they have a buy-up. They can buy the voluntary life and AD&D, and it's in $10,000 increments for the employees and the spouse. And the employees can get up to $500,000 or capped at 5 times the salary, whichever is lesser, and the spouse can get up to half the amount. And and the guaranteed issue for the employees is up to 150,000, which is much larger than I've seen before. And the spouse is guaranteed issue is at 30,000, and the children are per usual 10,000. Yeah, because that's the max that you can get for children. That's standard for children. And so this is all set up, and the only paper form, I was telling Coco, the only paper form that they're going to have to fill out is the EOI form if they go over the guaranteed issue amount. Right. Can't seem to get away from EOI forms.
I know.
Yeah, they don't make those electronic yet.
Nope.
Any questions about any of the benefits so far, medical, dental, vision, or the voluntary life? Alrighty, then we have, which I think is new for
yes,
is the long-term disability. And let's see, we have voluntary on here, and let me flip over to my guide here to go back up to the basic for the, here we go. So the basic for the, that the employer is paying for is they're paying for where the employee can get up to 50% of their salary to a max of $2,500, and there's a 90-day elimination period. So that is very, very, very generous that they can get, that much that the employer is going to pay for. And then the employee can get a buy-up. They can buy, from going from 50%, they can get up to 66 2/3% to a max of $6,000, and they just pay the difference between what the employer pays and what their buy-up is. And so that is quite generous as well, and it's available, and it's a nice plan. Coco, do you want to share anything about it?
Yeah, no, this is a big deal because PAMC's never offered long-term disability. So the fact that PAMC is willing, they are paying all employees, all full-time employees will get the 50% to $2,500, and then the employee can buy up, and here the rates are all right here. Yeah, this is a very, very generous benefit. It's a very generous benefit, and I know PAMC employees are going to be really excited about it.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Any questions? Bernini, did you want to share anything about any of the benefits? I think we might have lost her. If she was going to try to be on as long as she could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'll go over, if you want to stay on the line, Coco, I can go over the colonial with, or if you have things to do, you can drop off, but it's up to you. And because I don't think, can you think of anything else you want to share about the benefits?
No, but on this, are you including the EAP and the health advocate? Because those were two biggies.
I'll pull up those slides. Yeah. I'll pull, because we've already spoke and said we really want them to emphasize that Cigna has the value add program, especially the EAP program and the health advocate program. But I'll pull up those flyers specifically. And
okay, good. Yeah, because those those are really huge, like big deals to the employees because they've been creating the EAP, and then Health Advocate is going to be really, really helpful to all those employees.
Oh, okay.
That's a really great benefit. So, and they're all at no cost to the employees.
Hi, this is Bernini. I lost you for a minute.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I walked into my house and the call dropped. So, but I'm back.
Okay, well that's what happened. We thought, okay, here we go. We were just going to we're talking about the value adds now. If you wanted to mention anything, I'm pulling up the flyer on the EAP program. And of course my computer is acting slow right now. Is there anything that you wanted to share about the value adds that are available through Cigna?
And I don't know if the employees may or may not have used it as their specific item for as an HR, but I don't know how many of the employees would recognize that because it would depend on how, if they used it or not. So, it's definitely worth a mention, but I'm not sure that everybody's going to really know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe spend a couple minutes on the Health Advocate because that will employees will definitely use that.
Yeah.
With any claims issues, and they won't have to go to HR. They have a better resource, that'll walk
here's
through
the Health
it.
Advocate one. So the Health Advocate is, and you can see there's through Cigna a number that they can call when they need help with their billing, getting estimated fees for services in their area, finding options for, helping them find options, it says, for non-covered and alternative health services. It can help them schedule appointments, arrange for medical tests and special treatments. So there's a lot of things that this Health Advocacy program can do. And
yeah, that's a definite big win.
Yeah, it's a biggie. And it's for the employee, the spouse, dependents, parents-in-laws. I mean, it's really a this is definitely a value add because every employee can use this.
Yeah, because it does say help your spouse, your dependents, your parents-in-laws.
Right.
And there's a little card. So if they, it might behoove them to cut out this little card and put it in their wallet or somewhere so they always have this number available. And it's 24/7. So it's like they don't have to call between 9 and 5 Eastern Standard Time or something.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So it's 24/7 that they can use this Health Advocacy for. And then the EAP, which is, is the other one. That's one where they can get, 30-minute consultation for legal service or 30-minute consultation for financial. If they need some referrals for parenting, elder care, pet care, a 60-minute consultation for identity theft. So, this employee assistance programs, those are good programs as well. And it also pays for 3 face-to-face counseling sessions with a counselor in their area. So, and it's the same thing and for the employee and the employee's household family members to help resolve issues that they might be facing. So,
and at no cost to them.
Yeah, it's part of the Cigna family.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Does anybody have any other any questions about any of these programs or plans? There's a few other flyers that I sent you that Coco gave us on some of the other value adds. So be sure to look them over. So if anybody has any questions, you can bring them up. And Coco, were flyers about these programs, because Cynthia was telling me she has a box of materials from Cigna. Did they include flyers about these programs as well?
They did. And then they're sending more additionals if anybody wants them. Yeah, but I believe, Bernina, were you putting all these flyers on your intranet?
Yes, we were going to do that. I haven't done it yet because I haven't made sure we were all the way up.
Okay.
Not everyone has access yet,
So the HR
Okay.
department is one of the departments that got it first, but the employees were just getting brought up. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And they
Yeah, so
are
Cigna-
on the EAP and the health advocate. They are on our UVille site on the resource pages, so they are there. They're posted there already.
Yeah, and I
we
think
did tell them to look there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the value add, like the will prep and the ID theft, and I believe there's other flyers that are on that UVille site,
Yeah,
if I remember correctly,
there
because
are
of when
other
I went on
yeah,
there.
all the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the ones that you gave me, I had posted there, so they are posted there.
Yeah.
As well.
So they,
Okay, great.
yeah, so the employees can always go to the UVille site, you know, when they're at home, so they can look at them with their families and see what great benefits that PAMC is providing. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. Yeah. Okay, and so that completes, I think, unless anybody has any questions about the Cigna benefits, and I was going to move and talk about the Colonial benefits briefly. So, Berninia, Coco, you're welcome to stay, or Berninia, since you're home, maybe you're ready for dinner. You can go grab your dinner. But you can stay on the phone and continue to listen, or we appreciate you giving your time. But if you have things to do, you can feel free to drop off. It's your choice.
No worries. I think I might drop off. I had a long commute home, so
okay.
I'll probably drop off. But I'll be there tomorrow, around and checking and making sure everything's okay. All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thanks. Sure. Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye. All right. So let me go to our Colonial benefits real quick. And
so I think, is it okay if I drop off too?
Sure.
Or should I stay on?
Fine. No, you
should I stay on? Okay.
If you want
to. Thanks, but
you can drop off. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, Coco.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, so for the Colonial benefits, and it sounds like we need to, I'll get some clarity on the different health screening that are offered, so you can give exact. But on my program, it says Disability 1000 because this was created before we had group disability. So look over on this side where I said offer group disability, no DI 1000, so that you, even though the check marks here, it's the only check mark that I have for disability. It's off job, all the riders are available, 40% for the executives and 25% for the all other employees. And like I mentioned before, where to go? Here it is up here. There's only 8 people that are, and Berninia was one of them, that can get the 40% disability. So you will have to use your calculator. They're keeping us at 25% because their elimination period for their disability is 90%. A lot of employees might not get up as 90 days, and they can get up to 66 2/3%. So that's why we're trying to keep it at 25%, but they're going to be but it only goes up to 6,000, and so they know some of the executives need more than that if they're, to do it. So that's why they're allowing it for the executives to go up to that. Then we're offering whole life. They have the term life, but that's available through the Cigna. But the whole life is the savings one, the life that they can get this with savings in it, and they can get the long-term care rider. And we have a guaranteed issue of $22 a week up to $100,000 with the whole life. So that's the guaranteed issue amount for the whole life that they can get. We have the group accident plan. We're offering Plan 1 or Plan 3 with health screening, and it's only the $50 health screening, so Ronnie will get us some corrected flyers, and the hospital benefit. And then group critical care, we're offering the Plan 2. We always offer the full plan, so it's the full plan, not the basic plan. And they gave us a higher, I guess because we have the working conditions, they gave us a higher guaranteed issue. 40% with the group critical care, they gave us $30,000. So the guaranteed issue is $30,000 with the group the group critical care. And then, like I've mentioned, the CED for their FSAs is 1/1/2018, so we're not enrolling them currently. But if anybody asks, you can do it. And then, let's see, just want to double check. Liz, I think you might be the only one that didn't do, hasn't worked with Employee Navigator. Does anybody need me to resend out the PowerPoint, the slides that shows the enrollment flow with Employee Navigator so that you have it? Or is everybody gotten comfortable? Okay, I will send it out.
Before, but not for a while.
Okay, so I'll send that out to everybody just in case. I'm going to send out, since Mike really mentioned the survey, all of you have enrolled for him before, so I don't always send the survey out, but I'll send the survey out so everybody has copies. I'll make copies of the survey to bring out. And then I just want to double check. As of this afternoon, I think all of you had set up your login and password, because you will not be going to Harmony. So don't go to Harmony to enroll. All right, so I see that just Rodney needs to set up his password. Everybody else has set up your password. This one will be easier than the one that we did, the Pride Auto, because you only have your enroller password. We got all the needed census except for dependent census, but you can add dependents. So the only thing you'll have to add basically is dependents for the employees. Everything else should be there. And then I was going to say, when you pull here, I'm going to pull up Berninia real quick because I know she's one of the ones that's an executive. When you go look at their job at their their profile, I think it shows their job. Does their job title show when you're here? Their personal information.
I think it does.
Not there. I put executive for their job title so that you would see who was the executive. Is it up here under their profile? So when you go, if you need to know who the can't remember where it is, but oh, there it is. When you look at their employment information, their title, anybody that has the word executive first, those are the ones that qualify for 40% of, can up to the 40% disability. Unfortunately, I can't link, when it's not a straight Harmony database, I couldn't link our Colonial products to it, but so just keep in mind 8 people. If you look at their employment information and you see the word executive, then you know they get the 40%, but you can always just make a copy of the page in the enrollment guide. The 8 names are listed as well in the enrollment guide who get that 40%. So we just want to be sure that the employees that have smaller salaries don't get 40% from Colonial, plus maybe up to 66 2/3% with the Cigna as well, since they can, if they do the buy up, they could get up to that amount. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Andrea, I have a couple questions. It's Dana. On the core benefits for the medical and the dental, are the links working to search for providers?
Yes, I put the links in there.
Okay,
so yes, and they are working.
Are they going to take the regular election form, or do they need the one with the Social Security on it?
Well, they haven't been showing it, and so you do not have admin access to this group, so you won't be able to print that one. You will only be able to print the one that shows at the end of the enrollment. So you'll print the benefit confirmation statement. They just want a wet signature. So print the benefit confirmation statement that comes at the end of the enrollment, and print a second copy and capture a wet signature on it, because HR wanted that wet signature.
Perfect. And then on the whole life, you know, I didn't catch that whole thing, so it's 100,000.
Yeah, I just got the Wayne approved that today, so it'll be an update in this guide when it goes out as soon as I find my colonial stuff. Yeah, Wayne approved for guaranteed issue for whole life $22 a week or 100K, whichever comes first. So whatever $22 a week buys, they can get up to 100K.
Thank you.
So that's the guaranteed issue amount that we have with our whole life. And then they have the Cigna term life through Cigna, and they have 150 guaranteed issue with the Cigna term life. Any other questions?
So I have a question. Maybe I should have asked this when the broker was on, but the policy of the term that they have, this is a group rate. So once they are, if they leave the hospital, is that portable, and then it'll go to an individual rate? Am I correct?
I think so. But hang on, let's pull it up and take a look. Let's see, where did the
because
life
that'll be
go?
a great selling point.
Yeah, let's see. That's life. Here we go. Oh wait, that's the basic life. I got to open up the supplemental life. Alrighty. So let's open up the, and they do want you to mention these value adds, so be sure to mention the value adds, please, and mention what a great, how they worked hard to get a better network, a better, richer plans, and lower the premium. All right, so here we go. Up to 5 times their salary. It starts reducing at age 65. And let's see, spouse is only eligible up to age 70, and they can get up to half the amount. Let's see. So, well, okay, so what we're looking for, how much, waiver premium. Well, okay, so coverage becomes effective on the latter of the program's effective date, the date they become eligible, and now let's see when it says when it ends. Okay, if the group coverage ends except due to non-payment of premium, their employment is terminated, member in the eligible class is terminated, they can convert to an individual non-term policy. To convert, they have to apply for the conversion policy and pay the first premium payment within 31 days after the group coverage ends. And if your employment portability, if your employment is terminated and you're under age 70, you can continue your employee-paid life insurance on a direct bill basis. Coverage may also be continued for your spouse and children. Is this what you needed to know?
Yeah, the premiums will increase at this time.
Yes, then premiums will increase at this time.
And it won't be a term policy.
No, it won't be a term policy, and it doesn't tell you. Yeah, and it doesn't tell you what the increase will be, but hey, yeah.
Would our assumption be it would become whole life?
More than likely. Any other questions?
No.
No.
You know, it could be cash value versus a whole life. It could convert to a cash value.
A whole life is cash value insurance.
Maybe she was talking about a UL.
Oh. Well, both whole life and UL are cash value plans.
There's a different terminology for a plan that's slightly different than an actual whole life or actual UL. Okay. It's called a cash value plan, which is different.
Got it.
So it would probably be good to know, but they won't know the premiums until that age when they change. So
yeah, that's true. Okay, so tomorrow I will be getting on a plane at 11 o'clock, well, basically 10:30 here, which is 8:30 in California time, So if you have any employee navigator issues or any problems with the database and it's after 8 o'clock, you're going to have to call Ronnie. So Ronnie will, well, I'm flying tomorrow. Hopefully there won't be anything. I checked everything. I went in as an enroller and went through my test employee. There is a test employee in there if you want to. If you type in test, there's my employee test. You can pull up the test employee and you can go, to the open enrollment, and you can go to the benefits, and you can, play with the test employee and practice enrolling if you want to. So feel free to do that. You have all the resources on the side if you need to. All the, the providers are here. The helpful resources are here. The plan summaries are here. Everything's over here if you need it, so that you can click on it. If they want to see how things compare, I think you've seen this in, if you can see the comparison here, between the 3 plans. If they want to have them compared, side by side, you can pull them up here in Employee Navigator. And Mike, are you still on the phone? I heard a question, or I saw a question, I thought.
Actually, no, this is Pat. I used his number not too long ago, and I forgot to switch over to mine, so I'm on his number.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the health benefit is for group critical care. Because in the flyer, it shows what it would be for the other critical care.
Well, that's easy enough to know. All you got to do is go to proper. And I haven't had a chance to do it since we've been on the call.
Oh, in proper, it gives the employer the choice of a $50 or $100 benefit.
Okay, well, okay, got it. So hang on, then we'll just go here. I'm pretty sure Mike selected $50 health for all of them, and so we didn't look at our flyer to adjust it. We have a flyer template. But hang on, now I got to log back in because it's been however long since we've been in Harmony.
Okay, Andrea, I'm on the phone. So for the accident, we're definitely going to switch that to 50 from the 100.
Yeah.
And the critical illness, once you guys confirm that it's just the $50, then I will just change that to 50.
I'm going there right now because I don't think, now that it's set up, I don't think I can change it here in Harmony. Otherwise, I change it to match the flyer because group products gray out once they're approved because they don't let you make changes. And it's already been approved by underwriting. All right, so here we go. We're going to group specified disease. And so, if anybody asks, you'll just have to say that there was a typo and the benefit is $50 instead of $100 when asked. All right, so here we go. We have Plan 2. Full. Come on. The internet here at my mother-in-law's is very slow. Sorry. And it's $50.
50, okay.
Health screening is 50 for the group critical care, and it was $50 for the 2 accident plans. And I think disability, I think, is $50. I don't think there's a choice on disability. But we'll go take a look just in case. And it's off job.
I do have a question. Andrew, this is Monica.
Yeah,
with an employee navigator.
Say that again.
Now, you know what? I'll go ahead and let you finish with the health rider, but then I do have a question about the providers with Cigna as an employee navigator.
All right.
With the link that is on there for the... Are you ready or not yet? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The link for the providers is not working with an employee navigator. And then I've gone to Cigna's website, just decided to bypass it and just go straight to Cigna. and I'm also having problems with it there. So I don't know if it could be a problem with the Cigna itself, or if there's, at least the one within Employee Navigator, if there's an adjustment that can be made so that that link can work.
I'll check it out. It was working the other day when I was doing my testing, but I'll check out the links and see what I need to do to update it.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Andrew, if you can confirm for me on the short-term disability, because right now we don't have any amount specified on the flyer. Do you want me to put 50 or just leave it alone?
No, leave it alone.
Okay, so I changed the accent critical illness and as a version 2, and everyone, I'm just going to resend the PDF of that flyer out in a few minutes here.
What is it
then just use that flyer.
What was it on the accident? I'm sorry. I thought you said 100, then 50. So is it 50 now for sure?
Yes, it's always been 50 for sure. The flyer said 100, but the flyer was incorrect. It's 50.
So 50 for critical illness, 50 for accident. Okay.
Yep. Because when Mike was talking about it to me, that's what he told me, but then he put $100 in ACT, and so when Ronnie was doing the flyer, she was going by what was in ACT, where he keeps all his data on his groups.
Okay, and on the disability then?
Disability is built in, so there's not a one that you can select. So if you want to know about this group disability, then go to proper, look at group disability, and it'll tell you what the wellness is. It's not a rider or an option you can select in the setup.
I'll look at it in the system. Okay.
Yep, so I'm pretty sure, and I haven't had a chance to go do that. I don't enroll, so I don't remember all these things. But I'm pretty sure, I think it's $50, but it's not specified in the flyer, so it's okay. It doesn't need to be corrected on the flyer. Any other questions? If not, I appreciate you all being on the call. Tomorrow, remember, is in the 910 building, which is across the street from the main hospital building, so get there early enough to get in and set up and be ready. 5 people will be coming at 7 o'clock for an appointment, and you heard Berninia say that she's going to be sending walk-ins over tomorrow, so be prepared for a busy day tomorrow. And I think it's their system that was stopping them from getting on board. Oh man, where do all these emails come from? I'm never going to get to bed. Where that was because every time they said that it was a scheduler down, I said no, I just clicked on it, it opened right up. So I think they had email problems for almost 2 weeks where their email wasn't working, and then it took them a week to get the consumerism whitelisted, so it went through to their email. So I think they're just having difficulty with their email here, and their server is not letting them access it. Okay, if there's no more questions, I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to get the recording out if anybody needs to listen to the recording, and I will send out the updated guide as soon as I can. Add some of this information about the plans that they used to have on UHC, so you have it in the guide as well. If you have no other questions, I thank you all for being on this call, and I think this enrollment will go very well, and we usually do well at hospitals, and they're not going to be unhappy because it sounds like their costs have gone down instead of up. So hopefully they'll get some of our colonial plans.